So this next piece is going to debut this year in Black Rock City, but it has an intent to go traveling around the world searching for new habitat. So allow me to introduce from Santa Fe, Lisa Adler and Don Cannell.
Hello, my name's Lisa Adler, and this is my partner, Don Cannell. We've been collaborators for over 20 years. And before that, when I was a student at Santa Cruz, I became engaged in movements for social change. I ended up doing a PhD at Rutgers, which is where I met Don, and I taught for years. And one of the things I've noticed, from Aristotle to now, is that all politics are symbolic. And that's why we're doing this. We need a symbol. I've got to get this thing. We need a symbol of something powerful. We need a symbol of something that people love, because the movement that we need on climate change must speak to the heart.
I'm Don Cannell, lead artist on this project. I started my art career at a community college in Wyoming. There I learned a reverence for materials. I finished my undergrad in Houston and was inspired by folk artists who show that everything and anything can be used to make art. At Rutgers, where I did my MFA, I chose to incorporate content into my work that was about social change. This project represents a culmination of all my training and intention. The car hoods encode the past and bring it to the future. Consider the car hood. They're everywhere. In 2016 alone, over 72 million cars were produced. That's 200,000 cars a day. 7 more cars are produced by the time I finish this sentence. Why are there so many of them? What do we do with them? What do they mean? We collect this material to tell a story. We take these markers representing a set of values, and we use it to tell a story about a different set of values, and maybe a different future. The next few pieces show some work made with car hoods.
Imagination is humanity's superpower. We're artists, and I don't know how to make the ice stop melting, but someone out there does know. And maybe that person is 10 years old right now, and they don't know that they know how to save polar bears, but they do. An encounter like this is what raises that possibility. This is how Longview aspires to a generation of polar bear champions. And this interpolation, which means when something is called into existence through language, and when a discourse that's in process is interrupted, that's our goal. We want to interrupt a discourse in process, and we want to call into existence something else. And the thing that we want to call into existence are polar bear heroes.
I've worked with our crew for years, and it is truly hard to convey what a stellar group of humans they are. Trained artists with a passion for shaping metal, mechanics, engineers, and all-around badasses. But their single most valuable gift is that they share this vision and show up every day ready to make art that matters. My great joy is to have their dedication and support. At night, the polar bear becomes a drive-in movie, but with bikes. We are going to use projections that focus on images of water and nature.
The notion that there's a hierarchical ordering of life on the planet is deeply embedded in our culture. This notion must be challenged. We know that all life is interconnected, that we are one. Oops, there we go. We were born knowing this, but in our modern society, we forget. In many times and many places, people believe this fact, and we ignore it at our peril. What happens to the polar bear happens to us. This project will travel the country with this message.
Let me tell you how to build a 36-foot polar bear. You start from the ground up with the claws, like all fierce creatures begin. Draw the body masses and gestures with steel strap, paying close attention to turning the rigid material into a living, breathing icon. Fill the body as you go with structural steel so that this bear can tower over its audience, changing the power dynamic between human and animal, until you are left with this larger-than-life totem, skinned in over 100 car hoods, looking down on you in that ambiguous situation that asks, are you friend or foe? Long view is a biologist's term used to describe polar bear behavior.
Oh, I'm supposed to do this.
Polar bears will stand up to look out across the vast distances that surround them. They can see far away, down the road. They are looking for what's coming, and we should too. We believe animals have a message, and the polar bear's message to us is to take the long view. We are making this artwork so that people can hear the polar bear's message. Thank you very much.